Well, hatchling number 8 is ready to come out, and I'm going to help him out because if not, I have to go to work and he might sit here for another 9 or 10 hours. And then number 9 is breaking through, so that's something I'll have to check on when I get back tonight. So let's help this guy out of here. Well, here's hatchling number 8 and number 9, and number 9 looks good. He'll be moving around pretty quickly. And then back to number 10, seems like the later hatchlings beyond the first group, they are opening up the egg almost pointed into the vermiculite, so I had to move the egg a little bit and point him up in the air so his nose doesn't get clogged with vermiculite. And again, he's going to be sitting in here for a while like that. When I get home from work, about another 10 hours, he'll be ready to come out if he's not. Okay, it's 11:30 p.m. on Friday, August 25th. Hatchling number 9 is out of the egg and covered with vermiculite and ready to go into the holding pool. With number 7 and number 8, which I probably will release all 3 of these guys tomorrow morning. He's fired up. Today is Saturday, August 26th. It's release morning for hatchlings 7, 8, and 9. All doing good. And time to go back up the street to the swamp and let them go. This is a different spot from where I let the other ones go. It's on the opposite end of the swamp, about a half a mile away. It's more secluded, there's less fish around. The only problem is there's a lot of phragmites in here, but it might be better because it's more secluded and more protected. Their mother was actually killed on the road about 100 yards away from here. So if they hatch naturally, they probably would have ended up on this side. So I think I'm going to let these 3 go over here just for some different options of survival. And this would be the spot. Nice and shallow. Plenty of mud, and they should do fine here. There goes number 1, number 2, and what about number 3? Number 1 disappeared, number 2 still looking around, and number 3 is taken off. It's Monday, August 28th. Hatchling number 10 emerged late last night, and he looks okay, and I'm probably going to let him go later on today. And then I have 1 more egg left, and I candled the egg, and it looks like there's a developed turtle inside, so I'm still hopeful that he's going to hatch probably within a few days, and I will keep a watch on this guy. It's Tuesday, August 29th. This is release morning for hatchling number 10. It's back up the street to spot number 2 in the swamp. And most of the the extra yolk he had is gone, so he's been in here for about 30 hours. Actually not in here, but in the holding tank. So this is my transport container. And so I'm sure he's hungry and ready to go. This again is release spot number 2 in those woods. If I didn't mention it before, their mother, the hatchling's mother, was killed about 100 yards up this road. That's where I found her. So the whole swamp is, the far end of the swamp from the first spot is right here, and that's where he sure is taking his time. He's got great cover in these muddy leaves. But I'd like to wait until he actually decides to go and make sure he's just moving okay. This little one's just not in a big rush to go anywhere. We're trying to figure out what's going on. There he goes. First thing he's doing is burying himself. He's pretty much disappeared. Well, again, it's morning of Tuesday, August 29th, and I just let number 10 hatchling go. Got back. I'm looking in here, and number 11 has decided to start coming out. So I'm really happy about that, and he looks like he's only just started. Straighten him up here. So he's got probably another 6 to 10 hours before he decides to come out. I got to go to work today for 3, so I'm gonna check back in on him before then and see where he's at. It's about 11:30 a.m. on August 29th. It's about 4.5 hours later than when I first noticed him coming out. And again, I just point him up a little bit. These late ones seem a little bit weak, but regardless, this guy's gonna have to sit in here and until I get home from work about 11:30 tonight, and hopefully he makes it out. If he's not out by then, I'll help him out and then put him in the holding tank. It's about 11:30 p.m. on Tuesday, August 29th. This is hatchling number 11. He's been sitting like this. He came out a little bit farther from before when I went to work, but I think I'm gonna give him some help getting out of the egg. He looks like he may be a little bit weak, but I think he'll be fine once he gets out. Well, number 11's out of the egg. He's in the holding tank. He's moving around, and he's got a little bit of yolk still left on the bottom of him, but looks like he's got some energy, so I think he'll be fine. And I'll put him aside here and check on him in the morning and see if he's ready to let go early, or I gotta wait longer than tomorrow morning. And now it's time to finally shut down the incubator after, I think it's 88 days. So it has served me well, and it served these turtles well. And that's it. Unplug. Well, and I'll disassemble everything later on tomorrow, not tonight. It's the morning of August 30th. Hatchling number 11 is looking good. He's been in the holding container about 9 hours, and I'm going to get him transferred over to the transport container and bring him up the street and let him go. Okay, I'm back at release spot number 2, where I let go hatchlings 7, 8, 9, and 10. And this is what he's got to work with here. Very secluded. And I think he's ready to go. Oh, let's find out. I'll move him to a little deeper water. Come on, buddy. he's underneath. I'm gonna leave him be, and well, he's coming up a little bit. I'm gonna leave him be and say goodbye to you and your 10 brothers and sisters. Today is Wednesday, August 30th, and I just released the last of my 11 hatchlings. So from the time I started incubation on June 4th, it's a total of 87 days. It's definitely a long and slow process, but it's well worth it. I started with a total of 34 eggs, and after 2.5 weeks I candled them, and 22 of them showed no sign of development. 12 of them had some blood vessel development in them, and out of those 12, I only lost one other one, and I've had a total of 11 hatchlings out of the whole lot. So all in all, I felt like this was a successful venture. I'm very happy with it, and there's a few things that anyone that might try this should just be aware of. And initially, setting the eggs in the incubator, mark them and don't move them for a while. You know, give it, if you need to candle them, or when you need to candle them after a couple weeks, if you have the proper candling light, you can candle them in place to see what kind of blood vessel development they might have. Other than that, don't move them for at least 40 or 50 days. And then I think after that it might be safe to move them, because candling becomes difficult to tell what kind of development they have. You can pick them up and candle them from underneath and see what's going on. And ultimately, after a while, if they're growing properly, you can see the turtles start to develop in them and maybe move around a little bit. So it's a wide time range. When I started this, I was reading that it was 60 to 90 days, and it turned out to be on the far end, closer to 90. So the key is to have patience and be observant with your eggs, and there's a good chance you'll be successful, and you'll be very happy. And one other thing that's important is once the turtles hatch, you got to give them a little time in a holding container to kind of get their bearings, and then after that choose your release place very carefully, because they're incredibly vulnerable at their hatchling stage. Just about anything that's in the water will eat them: birds, otters, fish, frogs, other turtles. And if you do all that and release them, I know that I felt good releasing them, and I would do this again in a heartbeat if I found another turtle that medicine on the road.